About 95% of all UDRP cases are decided in favor of the trademark owners that file the complaints against cyber squatters. But not every winning decision results in an order transferring the disputed domain names. In some cases, UDRP panels order that a disputed domain name be canceled instead of transferred. Hi, it's Doug Isenberg, and in this video, I'm going to address the unusual remedy of cancellation in proceedings under the UDRP, or Uniform Domain Name Dispute Resolution Policy. Although cancellation is uncommon, it's not unheard of. In fact, as I'm recording this video, at least 9 UDRP decisions have resulted in cancellation orders in the past 6 weeks for 18 domain names that targeted the trademarks Dulcolax, OnRunning, Virgin, Sanofi, and Maersk. It's not always clear why cancellation instead of transfer is requested, or even if this is a wise outcome, but I've seen it arise more frequently lately, so I wanted to talk about it here. To be clear, cancellation of a domain name in a UDRP proceeding is not new and is written into the policy itself. Specifically, the UDRP says, the remedies available to a complainant pursuant to any proceeding before an administrative panel shall be limited to requiring the cancellation of a domain name or the transfer of a domain name registration to the complainant. So, a trademark owner can choose when filing a complaint whether it wants to have the domain name transferred or canceled. If the UDRP decision is an order to transfer, then the disputed domain name is transferred after a brief waiting period to the trademark owner that filed the complaint. The trademark owner can then choose what to do with the domain name. In my experience, some of my clients redirect the domain names to their own website, to a specific page on their website, while others simply configure the DNS records to prevent the domain name from resolving at all. Whatever the case, once a trademark owner has won a domain name transferred in a UDRP case, the trademark owner can keep the domain name indefinitely, so long as it maintains it by paying the registrar's renewal fees when they come due. This allows a trademark owner to keep a transferred domain name out of the hands of future cyber squatters forever, resulting in a permanent solution to the problem that prompted it to file a UDRP complaint in the first case. On the other hand, if a trademark owner elects to have a domain name canceled instead of transferred, then the registrar will do just that, cancel the domain name registration after the waiting period expires. And after a domain name has been canceled, it will become available for registration again by anyone, subject only to whatever rules, if any, might apply to the specific top-level domain in which it was registered. In the case of .com domain names, which make up the majority of UDRP disputes, a canceled domain name will be available again on a first-come, first-served basis, allowing another cyber squatter, or even the same losing cyber squatter, to pick it up at any time. For this reason, cancellation seems like a poor remedy for a UDRP case. As I often tell my clients, if you go to the time and expense of filing a UDRP complaint, you might as well seek a transfer of the domain name even if you don't want to use it, simply to keep it off the market and out of the hands of future cyber squatters. Otherwise, you might find yourself in the same position again and have to decide whether to incur the additional time and additional expense of filing yet another UDRP complaint for the same domain name. I understand that some trademark owners might not want to pay a registration fee to maintain a domain name that it doesn't really want. But those fees are usually nominal compared with the filing and legal fees that would be necessary to file a second UDRP complaint. Indeed, the cancellation remedy is one of the primary criticisms of the URS, the Uniform Rapid Suspension System, that was created in connection with the launch of the new GTLDs in recent years. As I've said in other videos, yes, the URS is less expensive and usually quicker than the UDRP, but it only allows a trademark owner to get a domain name canceled, not transferred. This is one of the main reasons why trademark owners don't find the URS a very appealing domain name dispute policy and instead still rely on the UDRP. So I'm always puzzled whenever I see a UDRP decision order the cancellation of a domain name instead of a transfer. As I said at the outset, although cancellations are still pretty rare, they sometimes occur. In a recent issue of my GigaLaw Domain Dispute Digest, for example, I reported that only 0.35% of UDRP decisions resulted in a cancellation. In fact, cancellations are so rare that UDRP panels sometimes go out of their way to make clear that cancellation was actually what a trademark owner requested. For example, in a decision for the domain name maerskdrilling.energy, the panelist wrote, "It bears noting that complainant did not request a transfer of the domain name. Complainant unambiguously requested as a remedy that the domain name registration be canceled." The decision doesn't say why. In only one of the recent cancellation decisions that I mentioned earlier can I see a reason to request cancellation. That decision involved the domain name virginverizonwireless.com, which contains trademarks owned by two different entities, although the complaint was filed by only one of them, Virgin Enterprises Limited. As a result, it may be that Virgin Enterprises considered it inappropriate to ask a UDRP panel to transfer to it a domain name that contained a trademark owned by someone else. But Virgin Enterprises could have sought Verizon's consent for doing that, something I've done for my clients in similar cases involving trademarks owned by multiple parties. In any event, I can't think of a good reason or a good case in which I would recommend filing a UDRP complaint to seek the cancellation of a domain name because transfer always seems to be the better option. If you want to learn more about the UDRP, please check out my masterclass on domain name disputes, as well as other resources on my GigaLaw website. And be sure to subscribe to the GigaLaw YouTube channel to be notified of future videos discussing other UDRP cases. Thanks for watching, and see you next time online.